Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kenny Wallace Show, brought to you by JEGS, the leader in high-performance aftermarket car parts. Remember to go to jegs.com for everything and anything you need to make your vehicles more awesome. All right, everybody, we are in the grand finale of NASCAR. We just got done with Miami. Hey, Herman! Get it out of your mouth. Miami Homestead. And now this week is Martinsville and then the big championship race out there in Phoenix. So 3 for Earnhardt. We just got done with Miami Homestead. We're going to Martinsville and we got Phoenix left. So let's break this Miami race down. Man, Christopher Bell he wins it. Power move. Christopher Bell just gets right on by William Byron and wins the race. Now, here's what was big about it. William Byron has won 6 races this year. Christopher Bell runs him down, stalks him for a little bit, and then when he does get by William Byron, he's gone. He wins the race in convincing fashion, and there's really not a storyline there, except now we know where we're at. So let's break it down right now. The Herminator always includes you all in everything. Here's where we're at. Let's look at it. Christopher Bell's locked in. Kyle Larson's locked in. Byron looking pretty good there with plus 30. William Byron has to have a catastrophic event happen. He's got to go out early because that's a lot of points. And then Blaney is, look at there, he's plus 10. Wow. Remember a week ago when they were taking points away from him and then he got them back? What an overnight and a complete day of heart attack. Ryan Blaney weathers off that. They said he was illegal because the length of his shock wasn't right. So he's back. And then Tyler Reddick only minus 10. Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin minus 10. Or 17. So listen, it's not far-fetched for Martin Truex or Denny Hamlin to win at Martinsville. I don't know if Reddick can win Martinsville. He can do anything because he's great, but we do know that Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin have won Martinsville. So it's going to be a barn burner. What race is going to be more exciting? Will Martinsville be more exciting or will Phoenix be more exciting? Because we know it's just clear cut out there at Phoenix, whoever finishes ahead of each other. And will we see the first year where maybe one of the 4 don't win? We haven't seen that yet. We have not seen where the top 4 did not win. In the history of this point system, the 4 drivers that have been in the final 4, they have went on to win. We have not had anybody outside the 4 win so far in this new point system. So let's break down Miami kind of in a hurry. I think the big story obviously is Kyle Larson. Complete domination station. He called his shot. He was like Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, for all you kids, Babe Ruth, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Babe would get up and he'd go, it's going out over the wall. And by God, it did. So you couldn't make fun of Babe Ruth because he hit all them home runs. Well, Kyle Larson said, I'm going to dominate. I want to dominate. He was dominating. All right, let's break it down. So Kyle Larson comes in the pits. Speedy Gonzalez going to make a pit stop. Runs right up on, Ryan Blaney? Runs right up on him. Now, I'm going to break it down the way I see it, and then we're going to tell you exactly what Kyle said. I've raced there a lot. That time of the day, the sun is catastrophic. When you're coming off of 4, anything you're doing off of 4, even anywhere you're at, the sun's blasting you, and you got your visor all the way down to here, right? So you're racing like this. You're racing like this. The sun's so bad. So Kyle got in hot. Kyle Larson got in hot. Sun's in his eyes. And I think that combination, Kyle Larson hits the water barrels and takes himself out of the race, bends the right front up. You know, when he wrecked, it's like, oh, it don't look that bad. Because did he wreck? Yeah, but he hit the water barrels. And the water barrels blew apart. They did their job, but his car looked like just a little road rash. Well, it hurt the right front tire, wheel, steering mechanism. So he's out. Now, when they went to interview Kyle Larson, he said, he gave a very nice interview. It was in length, but basically in the end, he said, I misjudged. He was hustling. So, what a bad deal. But here's the deal. He's already locked in the championship, right? He's going to Phoenix because he won the week before. So, no big deal, right? He's out. Okay. Who saw Christopher Bell coming like that? He came out of nowhere. But the big story was Denny Hamlin. And this is where, like, if you're Scott Bloomquist and you do the crotch chop, you know, you're like, suck it. You know, when you do that, you better win. I don't think the Herminator's ever got up out of his chair. But I talked to Bloomquist, one of the great dirt racers of all time. And I said, man, I love it when you do that crotch chop. Bloomquist knows what he's doing. He looked at me and he goes, when I do that, I'm taking a chance. I better win. Back in those days, Bloomer was most likely going to win. He wasn't taking much of a chance. And he would needle the fans and they'd get going. Herman, where are you going with this? Well, Denny Hamlin. He's got that actions detrimental. I don't think he's really he don't talk a bunch of crap. But anytime you talk, like me, you're setting yourself up for somebody to get you. But you can never let them see you sweat. So, but in defense of Denny Hamlin breaks something in the steering. So let's go to Denny Hamlin's crew chief, Chris Gabehart. The tire was still good. Something broke in the front end. So here we go. Part failure. What was it? You know, we don't know. Will they tell us what it was? You know, NASCAR is going to be looking at it. When we look back through the race, I mean, Denny was fighting up there in the top three the whole damn race. So, I mean, if he hit something, the front end was still perfect. I mean, you know, you can go, oh, he scuffed the wall earlier in the race. But he was still, you know, the toe still had to be perfect because he's fighting for the win. So I think something broke. I'd be really interested to see what it was. When you watch the in-car camera, it was weird. He goes, you know, and what's still crazy, they're shifting, right? You just wouldn't think. Well, the pace does get slow because the tires get ground up down there. And here's why. Because down in South Miami, they use seashells as rock. So, you know, up in the rest of America, we're using rock, right? You get down there, they use seashells. And boy, that stuff just sits up out of the pavement, just grinds those tires down. So I guess, you know, you're running a 30-second lap. Then all of a sudden you're running a 33-second lap. You're going 3 seconds slower. I guess you could grab another gear because you're going so slow. But Denny goes down into turn one. As soon as he grabs the gear, steering wheel vibrates straight into the wall. So immediately, you know, we got Denny. Now he's 17 back. You know, Kyle out of the race. And, you know, at the end there, you're looking at Tyler Reddick, who's only 10 out right now. Reddick was making a hell of a run, but, you know, William Byron did a really good job hanging on for fourth. But Ryan Blaney, definitely the star of the race, right? From Blaney being 57 points out, running sixth, right? And they said, oh, you're illegal. Your shocks don't fit the format. Comes back, recovers. All right, let's look at it. This is what you all like to see. I hear all the comments. I see them. You like the Herminator kind of being a little messy here, just showing you what I got on my phone. There's your rundown. That's the finish. For the people on podcast right now, here's the rundown. Christopher Bell wins. Ryan Blaney does a hell of a job holding off Tyler Reddick for second. So Blaney finishes second. Reddick third. William Byron was fading, but did a great job. He's got that 30-point cushion right now. Look at Allmendinger. Look at A.J. Allmendinger. He could be star of the race, but he's not in the championship deal. I'm still going to give the star to Blaney. Allmendinger wins. The Roval comes back to finish fifth. Bubba Wallace still strong, sixth. Ty Gibbs, seventh. Joey Logano, eighth. Eric Almirola, ninth. Austin Dillon, boy, did he need that finish. And you see the rest of the rundown there. Seems like Chase Elliott down there in 15th. And even Kyle Busch, they just kind of lost their luster, didn't they? They really lost their luster. Well, all right, everybody. I really think that's the quick breakdown of Miami Homestead. A little bit more went on. It was exciting. It had a big wreck on the back straightaway, but that was almost for last. When you watched the replay, the one Truex was in, and J.J. Yeley, he's kind of at the end. I mean, that was the big one. But it was a great race because it was good side-by-side racing. It was just a damn good race. We didn't need all the wrecks to go, what a great race. Of course, Kyle Larson shocks everybody. That's definitely a highlight reel. Denny Hamlin breaking steering, that was a highlight reel. And, of course, that big wreck we just talked about. But we did not need wrecking to save the day. So, all right. I told you the deal. We're going to wrap it up right. Hey, Herman, who do you think is going to be the 4? Well, I definitely think, obviously we know the top 2. Who is going to be the 4? You're basically saying who's going to be the 2 to finish it out. So Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell are locked in. They both won. Third right now is William Byron with a 30-point cushion. I'm going to say Byron finishes it off. I don't know if William can go to racing real hard at Martinsville. I just don't know. A 30-point lead, man. There's going to become a time in that race where they're going to go, you're locked in, because 30 points, that's a lot of damn points. So it's going to come down between Ryan Blaney in the last position, Tyler Reddick, but does Denny Hamlin or does Martin Truex win? Buescher's too far back. He's done. Buescher's got to win. All right. So those are your final 8. So there's no more. I mean, yeah, anybody else can win, but I'm going to go with the 3 stay where they're at. I'm going to go with Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, William Byron. I'm not going to try to win it all here. I'm going to say Denny Hamlin or Martin Truex win to get in. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. Even though Ryan Blaney's got 10 points to the good and Reddick's there, I'm just going to call it. I'm going to say the 4th position will be rounded out by Denny Hamlin or Martin Truex. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. Show just keeps on rolling. Pay attention over there on Kenny Conversation, man. Jade Avedizian, that 17-year-old girl that just won the Extreme Outlaw Open Wheel Midget. We got her on Kenny Conversation. The GOAT. Ricky Carmichael's up next. And Bobby Pierce. All right, everybody. Until then, remember, we're on iTunes, Spotify. We're in podcast form. And respond right here. Rough me up. I love it. I read everything you write. Until next time.